right, howdy, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. My name is Troy and this is my 2003 Jaguar XJR. Now, if you're, I guess, familiar with popular YouTube car culture and what's going on in the various channel space, I guess, of the North American and European markets, you might notice that the popularity of Jaguar XJRs or XKRs has risen significantly in the past, let's call it 6 months, probably even smaller, let's call it 3 months, with various, high subscriber, high visibility channels gravitating towards the purchase, restoration, and modifications of these X308, specifically Jaguar XJRs. And it kind of made me think, why is everyone all of a sudden buying Jaguars? What is it about the car? What is it about the brand that's attracting so many new, I guess, buyers, subscribers, audience? And in this video, I want to kind of tap into and discuss my thoughts on it and my particular 2003 Jaguar XJR, and kind of talk about what's going on with the other channels and kind of, why this is happening. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start with my particular 2003 British Racing Green Jaguar XJR. Now, I got here via the means of a 1999 Jaguar XJ8L Vandenpla. That was the beginning of the Jag journey, but the beginning of the Jag journey didn't actually start there. The beginning of the Jag journey started probably when I was 14 or 15, and there was a 2000 XJ8L that was owned by a family friend of ours that sat in their driveway in, just pretty much abandoned with 50,000 miles on it, that was purchased by my father. I kind of talked him into it, almost 20 years, or 25 or 20 years ago, let's just call it that. And that's kind of what actually started this journey. Now, again, it's all about really what you know and what you grew up around. And I grew up detailing, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, detailing cars in the early 2000s. And this was it. This was, to me, the best of all of those early 2000s saloons, super saloons, Cayenne turbos, X5, 4.8 ISs, M-Tech, the whole, AMG E55s. There's something about this that is just completely different than the rest of the cars in that category. So when I bought this particular Jag, it was a dream car. I'm completely underwater in it. I've spent almost probably double what I purchased it for in repairs. It only has 112,000 miles, which really isn't that much, but it is in pretty poor cosmetic condition. But that's kind of the amazing portion, is when people see this car, I just get compliments. No one noticed the fact that the paint on the roof is quickly deteriorating, that the fact that it is almost two different colors of British Racing Green. I've got, there was probably a collision in the front, the whole front end's been painted, so everything back is original paint. And as you can see, all the door handles are fading. I've got the trunk lid coming up. I've got cracks, bruises, dents, even a rust patch with a terrible repair on this side. But, peeling clear coat, but all this stuff, all of this is irrelevant. It's the only car that I own that all these imperfections don't matter, and I just don't notice because it's just that appealing of a car. And I'm not going to just say looks wise. I think the whole package is incredibly undervalued and just really kind of underappreciated. This is, I was joking at lunch the other day with some friends. Could you compare this car to a 500e or E500, the collaboration of the W124 chassis, Porsche suspension tune with Mercedes-Benz? You kind of could. You kind of could. It's got a 7.22 or 722 0.6 whatever 5-speed automatic transmission from an E55 Mercedes. It's got a supercharged almost 400 horsepower 4-liter Jaguar V8. It's got 18-inch asteroid wheels. They're fairly fat as far as your tire size and width for the time on this very classic, beautiful saloon body. It's just an incredibly appealing package. All right, so let's jump in and take it for a spin. All right, so yes, do I have a check engine light on? Yes, I do, and I have no plans to reset it. I think it is a knock sensor or something like that, which I just don't care about because it doesn't affect anything, and I can't get to it because there is the center console wood that fell off in my hand. Have to remedy that, not a problem. Because I just had to reset it, and I'm pretty sure that knock sensor is under the supercharger, so that's not getting fixed. Needless to say, let's talk about YouTube again. I keep kind of pushing off the subject, but so in the past 6 or so months, let's go down the list. AutoAlex cars. He purchased, I think, a 95 or 96 XJ6 or XJR. It's the supercharged 6-cylinder, which is a beautiful car. I love the wheels on it, great color. Got it at auction for a steal. The DriveTribe guys, he bought a car for himself, an XKR, and prior to that, he helped Richard Hammond procure his dream car, the car he regretted selling, which is like a 2001 or so black XJR. Now that's a lot of XJR content being forced out into the YouTube sphere in the past couple months. I also watched a video by I think number 27, who was reviewing one as well. He was comparing it and actually speaking favorably of it in comparison to the E39 M5, which again, if you look into XJRs on YouTube, which is where most car journeys begin, as far as let me find it on YouTube and read some reviews, let me watch the old Top Gear on it, and then I think I want to buy one of these. It's just the normal progression of how a terrible decision, as some might consider it, begins. And that's great because now you've got all this other positive content kind of along with the XJR content that I've been putting out kind of now for over a year. I think I've owned this car over a year now. And honestly, it has never left me stranded. I think that is kind of what people are finding out is the name or the bad name these cars were given is 100% true, but unlike Jeremy Clarkson or the Top Gear comparison, this is not a car that you really cross shop with an E39 M5. These aren't brand new cars going head to head on a track. This is an accessory. This is just something cool. I think Richard Hammond said it best in the latest repair video is if he pulls out in front of an establishment, and I'm quoting this terribly, and there's someone that bats an eye at an XJR or thinks it's not interesting or irrelevant, then that's not someone he wants to talk to because they don't understand and obviously don't have let's call it taste in this type of car. And I 100% agree with that. That's probably the most true statement that I've heard in a while. And the next statement is these cars are fast. I mean, legitimately fast. I don't live in an area where it's easily able to speed or anything like that, so I can't really take it out on these beautiful country back roads or anything, but this car is fast. I mean, I don't know what the factory 0-60 was, 6 seconds, something like that, but it feels quicker, especially if you're daily driving it or, using it for normal purposes. So, there's just so many little features and factors that kind of adds into the ownership of this. It's like, it's like the Porsche 964 in Californication. Like, it's beat up, it's missing a headlight, but it just has so much style and presence that it doesn't matter. Anyone that watched that show would lust after that car because of just the presence and how it was driven and the use of it. It was just kind of a beater and functioning just as a car. And I think that's where the XJR was utilized previously and is now kind of coming out of that. But in the same time, oh man, is totally able to be a car. And that is where the beauty of this kind of starts to come into. And even as I ramble on, I'm noticing another clunk in the rear. So I'm excited to figure out what that is. But no, back to the point, you know, I think the Jaguars and even Land Rovers, obviously, they're on an upswing in popularity. People are no longer looking at them as a daily driver, even though they're capable of doing it. I think they're just becoming more of an enthusiast pick because, one, they're cheap. They're incredibly not cheap to maintain. These suffer catastrophically from coolant leaks, supercharger related issues, high labor cost, timing chain and guide issues, which supposedly were fixed in the 03 model, which is this one. I'm not going to worry about it. If I were to do the timing chains, guides, it would cost triple what the car was worth, what I bought it for, so that's never happening. So if she dies, it dies. But I don't think I would be upset, but I would probably go out and buy another one because this is, I own a lot of cars if you see my videos, and this is still hands down my absolute favorite, and no one I really, that I tell that to really comprehends or understands why that makes sense. But it just is. You know, and it also has, I think, to do with the owners of these cars. They're incredibly passionate group. Lots of positive and negative comments about my Jaguar videos, even the way that I'm pronouncing it. But again, I don't really care about the pronunciation of the name. It's just, you know, people that buy these cars, for the most part, like old Land Rovers, have to and are forced to work on them. All the problems are documented. It's just a fun mashup of a vehicle, of look, style, presence. You know, I don't even fit in here very well. It rattles. It's, you know, it's not put together like a BMW, but that's the whole point. People are bored of BMWs. They're bored of E55s. There's something about the mystery of whether it's going to start which this starts every single time. Has absolutely no, I'm not going to say it doesn't have no issues, but it always drives. Let's put it like that. This car always drives, is very quick, has more handling and braking capability than I need, you know, on a daily basis. I'm not taking it on the track. I'm not doing head-to-head competitions with it. I'm just using it as a car and sometimes as a spicier car. And every time I drive, it puts a smile on my face. And I think that's really all that matters. So keep up the Jag content, YouTube. It's great to see some new enthusiasts be born. It's great for content. It's good to see some younger guys getting into to old Jaguars as well. And you know, I'm excited to see where those series go, the 2 manual swap series, because it's just good automotive conversation and competition, and I'm all about it. So that's really all I had for this video. I really just kind of wanted to just, you know, figure out and just kind of discuss with the viewership and kind of direct them to those channels as well, because it's great fun to see like-minded individuals doing like-minded things in the type of, you know, vehicles that I'm passionate about, and they're passionate about it too. So again, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos on my Jaguar XJR. Pretty much from when I bought it, I've documented everything that I've done to it, including completely replacing the interior and everything to come, because I really don't plan to sell it, and I'd really regret it if I did. So please like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.